Hello, every day we learn a little more, and in this video we will learn about the dangers of X-rays. As you see, when doctors want to observe the internal organs of your body, especially to observe the fracture, they often have to take X-rays. X-rays are like a camera that can see through the body. However, there are people who believe that X-rays are harmful to health and can even cause cancer. Is that true? Let's find out. First, what is the operating principle of an X-ray machine? I will explain in the simplest way. Basically, creating images when taking X-rays means exploiting the penetrating feature of X-rays. X-rays are a strong type of electronic radiation with short wavelengths, so the ability to penetrate is very big. When the X-ray beam passes through the body, thin and soft structures, the X-rays pass through easily. Hard structures such as bones will absorb X-rays, making them unable to pass through. Thanks to the more or less X-rays passing through, the screen allows us to receive more or less X-rays, thereby displaying images of the internal parts of the body. You can see in the picture that wherever the X-ray cannot pass through, it is white; if it passes a little, it is gray; and if it passes a lot, it is black. To create X-rays, people will let an extremely large electric current flow through the two poles of the X-ray bulb. Thanks to the large current, a strong magnetic field will create electrons moving at high speed and crashing into the electrons. Atoms at the other pole. Due to the high speed, the electrons will change the arrangement of the layers of the atoms, and this process will release X-rays. Now just let the X-rays pass through you. On the other end, we place a roll of film or an electronic diaphragm to collect the results, and that's it. Back to the main issue of the video: is X-ray dangerous or not? Or the further question is, will X-rays penetrating the body cause any harm? The answer is a yes. X-rays are similar to gamma rays and are a type of radiation. Currently, scientists are still discussing the difference between X-rays and gamma rays. Because they have relatively similar properties, since they are radioactive rays, you also know how dangerous they are. The inventors carried out a series of research and experiments. Many people began to suffer burns, hair loss, and many worse problems reported in technical magazines since 1896. Also in February 1986, Professor Daniel and Dr. Dudley did a related experiment to X-raying Dudley's head and causing him to lose his hair. Another article published in Electrical Review by Dr. Hawks also showed that he suffered severe burns to his arms and chest during an X-ray demonstration. Other testers, including Ellie Thompson and Nikola Tesla, also suffered burns. During the experiment, scientist Thompson intentionally left his finger in contact with the X-ray tube for a period of time and suffered pain, swelling, and blistering. However, it was only when X-rays were first discovered that people became subjective with such unsafe testing. Nowadays, when taking X-rays, people have adjusted the amount of X-rays just enough to get the clearest picture while still limiting the maximum number of X-rays shining through the body. But even so, X-rays still carry potential dangers, including the possibility of causing cancer. Let's take a closer look at why X-rays cause cancer. Its principle is like this. When X-rays penetrate the human body, it will affect the molecules and atoms in our body. Because all of our bodies are ultimately made up of atoms or molecules. Therefore, X-rays will affect them. If you have watched videos about cancer, you already know that when molecules in cells are ionized, molecules in DNA change, the DNA will change. No longer functions normally, but when DNA is damaged, it will produce defective cells, and defective cells are the source of cancer cells. So X-rays can definitely cause cancer. The problem is whether the incidence of cancer is high or low when taking X-rays. Each part of our body when scanned will require a different amount of X-rays. Because as mentioned above, the lower the amount of X-rays, the better. So for parts that are used sparingly but still provide clear images, people will not need much. For example, if a limb is taken, the amount of X-rays used is less than 0.01 MSV, and the chance of getting cancer is 1 in a million. If the cervical spine is taken, the amount of X-rays needed is 0.08 MSV. About 1 in 200,000 people will get cancer. If you have a CT scan, computerized tomography, it will be more serious. CT scans create 3D images that allow doctors to see your organs more clearly, diagnose diseases more accurately, and therefore use higher radiation doses, up to 8 MSV, so about 1 in 2,500 people will be affected. You can refer to the link for more details in the description of the official medical page of the UK and the US FDA. Another issue to note is the restriction of X-rays for children and women pregnant. Because children are very sensitive to radiation, they also have a longer time to develop cancer and other problems. Thus, through this video, you have seen that X-rays as well as other radiation rays can cause cancer because they change the molecules and atoms of the body, altering DNA. We should only take X-rays when necessary and limit them to children. Thank you for watching the video. Hello and see you again. I'm Vinlateo.